We're back in the Fat Pad.
In the Fat Pad.
We have yet another guest with us. He actually was our first guest that we ever had on the podcast.
Yep.
And this time he's actually in person and not dealing with a horrendous delay.
How you doing, sir?
Welcome back to the
Thanks
show,
for
Mark
having me.
Spewak.
Appreciate it, man.
Good seeing
is
you, man.
good.
Good seeing you.
And it was the first podcast that we were on as well. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. The only podcast.
The first and only.
Yeah, the only podcast that we have done a little cross podcasting with. Mark on the Mission of Spee. So shout out to that. Check that out. But anyways, how you been, Mark?
Been great, guys.
Yeah.
Loving following your journey on social media and everything. And I always enjoy it because I never know if I'm going to get Scott or Charles. And so it's like just following this profile.
Yeah.
And so it's just so fun to watch you guys' progress and just seeing like, you know, the vulnerability of like your wins and your losses. And I just really enjoy everything that you guys are putting out there. And I was laughing about it beforehand because I've got into TikTok a little bit.
Yeah. It's addicting.
So
that's for sure.
Oh my gosh. And I see you guys on TikTok and I'm like, this is cool. This is really cool with these short form videos and everything. So it's crazy that the year ago was when we got connected and just like following you guys and seeing like your audience grow and everything has been really cool to see that.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've talked about it when we were on your podcast and we've talked about it not even on any podcast, like just how awesome the St. Louis fitness community is. Like we had a guy that Charles met at the Y who's done crazy triathlons and double triathlons and he's training for his first Ironman on next week and like and like Jackie from the Dogtown Running Club. Talked to her a bunch of times. I don't think I'm able to do the doggy dash this year. I'm going to be out of town, unfortunately. But no, I mean, it's just great to see the St. Louis fitness community. And like that kind of all started was meeting you. And now we've met a bunch more people and have done obviously a bunch more races over the past year or whatever it's been. But it's been, obviously I got my new,
all those
medals. My new medal.
His new wind chime.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite medal on there?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It's hidden.
Okay.
The St. Louis, my first Olympic.
That's awesome.
My first
so
Olympic
awesome.
triathlon, which was a huge accomplishment.
Is it a wine right there?
Yeah, it was at Eckert's in Belleville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We ran through the orchards where actually I grew up like right down the road from the Eckert's orchards and
it was awesome.
Got in trouble for driving through those orchards when I was a kid.
And now you're out here,
I'm running
respectfully exercising.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the wine one's definitely better than the other one. Both those are Eckert's, right?
Yeah.
So
Charles did that one last
do.
year.
Yeah, they do.
Grippo's Chips. He's from Cincinnati.
Well, Evansville, Indiana.
They have them in Evansville.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, Charles thought they were from Evansville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My wife's from Cincinnati, and I have a client from Cincy, and so I always get him Grippo's Chips when we go there.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the first barbecues I went to in Cincinnati, and there was Grippo's. I realized how big of a deal it was.
Yeah,
they are delicious.
And
they
it's
are
hilarious.
really good.
I know you bought those probably at like a pretty like good store that stocks a lot because they usually do the bags and then do the boxes for the multi ones. There's a place called Jungle Gyms in Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Cincinnati, you have to go to Jungle Gyms.
I've never
It's crazy.
It's the largest freaking grocery store in the country.
And you can drink while you're there.
You can drink. And have you been down their sauce aisles?
Yeah.
They have sauce aisles.
Oh, that's pretty good.
They have sauce.
My wife
for
Steffi
days.
would love that.
They have tons of stuff. I mean, they have
Yeah.
everything from toys to food to a bar. I mean, it's a whole experience.
Yeah, it's like the
what is it called?
Buc-ee.
Jungle Gym?
Jungle Gyms.
It's like the Buc-ee's of grocery stores.
Okay. Is it only in Cincinnati?
Yes, there's only one.
Okay.
You'll know when you're there.
Yeah, because we were visiting my in-laws in New York, Connecticut area. In May. I don't remember. Oh, not too long ago.
Yeah.
We went to like a regional place called Stu Leonard's, which is like a Six Flags grocery store.
Oh,
like there's animatronics everywhere, like animatronic bananas by the banana.
Yeah.
It was bananas. It was absolutely bananas. Like I was like, Steffi has videos of me just walking around like, what the fuck is this? But
that's how
cool.
I felt first I was in Buc-ee's, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is wild.
Yeah.
I am a Wally's fan though, and I'm glad there was one here. Yeah.
No. So when you walk into the Walmarts in Evansville, they have pyramids of boxes of Grippos.
Oh my gosh, it's a big deal.
It is, and they did a July 4th box, and I almost bought the box just to replace one of those. Those are pretty cool boxes.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and I've eaten a ton of Grippos since last summer.
Yeah, Grippos and Tell City pretzels are like the two things I bring on the show way too much.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, to my Cincinnati in-law family, if you're watching, I got Grippos chips over here. So
yeah, they're taking up 2 of my rows because they're that big time.
Yeah, they are good. They are very good. But anyways, we wanted to have Mark on. We wanted to talk to him, catch up with him a little bit, but also we have the Market Mile coming up it's August 10th.
Yeah, so we're less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, so obviously we've been running the ads before our podcast starts and kind of in between on breaks, but we do have a 2 guys 1 scale team. We have an exclusive discount that Mark hooked us up with. I think our team is up to like 12 or 14 or something as of right now. I know my parents just recently signed up, which
shout out mom and dad.
Yeah, I think they're going to be walking, but that's okay.
Fantastic.
I might walk too with you.
Yeah, so definitely get joined up. We're going to have the link to that in the description of the video. Very excited to be part of year 2. Is it still ending at Union Station, I would imagine?
Yep, same course as last year. Starts at Keener Plaza, finishes at St. Louis Union Station. And this year we have a few more vendors, which we're excited about. I also hired a juggler who's going to be walking on stilts.
I thought I saw that on Instagram today.
Probably the video of it yesterday.
Yeah.
So I just trying to think outside the box of just trying to keep people at the post-race party and, what would be something that would entice the kids to be excited before they start yanking on their mom's shoulder saying,
I will say your post-race party was probably the best one that we've had.
It was a good one.
Yeah, the Chicago Marathon was crazy.
Chicago Marathon's incredible.
Yes. But or a triathlon, whatever. But, for like a St. Louis event, it was the best post-race event. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was great.
And it was a great venue too.
I mean, we are so fortunate, and lucky to have the sponsorship with LHM. I mean, that's the biggest thing with St. Louis Union Station and, with it being the historic, landmark of St. Louis. And on top of it, I was laughing about this the other day with one of the guys that I work with at LHM, shout out Cameron Shuffle. And, I was like, we don't have to do much build out because everything's already in place. So our vendors bring their tents and the DJ is there and everything's kind of already beautiful and looking great. And so we're very lucky for that. And I had so many positive memories going to Union Station as a kid. So it's really a dream come true to be able to put an event on there. So there's just so much nostalgia that's within the event and everything. And then this year, they're actually going to be offering 20% off tickets to the aquarium, the wheel, other attractions around Union Station. And then they're actually going to do a preset discount code before the event. So I'll send that out with the participation guide and everything. And then that way people can just sign up before they get there, have the tickets on hand and go there. So, and we start a little bit later this year. So it's an 8 a.m. start, not 7:30. So that just allows us to be able to time it really well with their attractions opening.
Yeah. I'm glad that it starts a little bit later. I'm going to see Shane Gillis the night before.
Oh, that will be a great.
And I'm doing
he's going to be at a bachelor party the night
in Evansville, Indiana. So
Incredible.
I'm driving back.
Are you seriously?
That's why
you don't have to do that.
I said that's why I might walk the mile with this.
Well, we appreciate that. You definitely don't have to do that, but that's amazing.
No, we're excited to show up, and I'm glad that we got a bigger team this year, and hopefully it'll grow a little bit more after you guys see this. I know. I have other friends I talk to that are planning on signing up, but I'll get them. Push them
that's amazing.
I've been saying, I'm going to sign up. Yeah. They still haven't signed up.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a mile. It's a mile, guys. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, something that I'm just trying to portray with people is that, I think you think of run, you think of walk, like these races, and it can intimidate somebody that's not necessarily somebody that does these types of events.
Oh, we were there.
So,
we were there.
And you understand that more than anybody, obviously. And so I think it's trying to break that barrier for people and realizing this is a fitness festival. So this is a 1 mile run/walk. You can come out, you can run it competitively, you can walk it, you can come with your stroller. It's really just about being downtown and using exercises like that platform to get people there, using this as a positive thing. And then with the party afterwards, that's for everybody. And so that's my hope in the coming years is that we can kind of do a better job of just continuing to get that message across because it's just going to continue to be a fight for us to get there. Sure. But I believe in it. I really believe in this, in the mission behind, doing a race downtown and doing something like a mile. There's a reason why we're doing a mile, not a marathon, or a 5K or a 10K. And it's specific because I I want people to see this sport in a positive way. That
Approachable.
You don't exactly.
Yeah, approachable. Because like I think when we signed up for Market Mile last year, when we first got in touch, like I think we had done a triathlon, a 5K that we walked the whole thing,
and we did the mile.
You did Macklin.
And the Macklin mile, and I was like, that was so fun.
Yeah,
like, it was I could do it fairly easily, and like let's find something else like that, and that's how I found the Market Mile. And it's been awesome. Obviously, we've done a lot more since then. We've done a lot of 5Ks. We've done I think 4 more triathlons. I've done 4 triathlons.
Look at the medals.
3. Yeah. So it's been fun. But as of right now, I think the Market Mile is the only thing on our calendar for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So we got to fill that up.
I know we do.
Yeah.
We do.
There's a great 10K, 5K in October called the Gumbo Flats. It's in Chesterfield. It's pancake flat.
Oh, I love that.
I have no relationship with this event, so I'm just like, just shouting it out because it's a great event. But it's on October 18th, I believe. So it's fast, it's flat, and usually really good weather. So that's another fun one that people do.
We'll probably do the turkey run too. It's around Thanksgiving.
Well, we're planning on doing a half marathon at the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to happen though.
Let's go.
I think we need to.
We need to, but we don't want to.
No, I want to do it.
Needs over wants.
I since our last episode, I've decided that I am for sure signing up for the Michigan Half Ironman.
Yeah.
Next year, so like I need to start like doing distance stuff. So it's gonna be a lot of walking, but it'll be a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. Just put it that way. It's gonna be tough. So
gotcha. But anyways, Mark.
So quick question. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
You're good.
How many people do we have signed up this year?
Yeah, so we're right at where we were last year at this point. So we have about 300 signed up, and last year we had about 500 that signed up. So that's kind of the hope, is that we're in line with that.
You'll get that big push at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like looking at the metrics, we're about the same as where we were last year at this time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of stressful. You can look at like the day to day each day and see where you're at, whatever the case is. But I see it as a huge win for us because just in general, a large percentage of people don't come back for the second year because people go on, out of town, they go on vacation, they have other commitments. And so, the power of an event is being able to basically get that next year, the same numbers or a little bit more. And then you bring back those people possibly from the first year to the third year with new people. And that's kind of how these events grow. Okay. So I see it as a huge positive win. Of course, like we want to keep growing and, would love to see this event. I believe this event could be something that's, 1,000+ people, but it just takes time, and so we're just thrilled for, anybody that's supporting it and seeing you guys come back for it in the second year. But, it's, I also think that this is like just an uneducated guess basically, but I would imagine that people are a little bit gun shy right now to sign up with the heat. It's been just kind of insane with the weather recently.
Yes.
People just seem really burned out of exercise right now in general with how hot it's been. I mean, you just see that on Strava, other places. So I'm also wondering too, if we're going to get even a different kind of push at the end there.
Yeah. I've definitely been doing a lot more walking than running outside. I still have been riding my bike, but it's been brutal outside.
Riding the bike has been the way to go here recently, just because the pavement is so hot when you it's just, you've got a great trail that's 2 miles long to run on. That's pretty shaded, but around my house, I have to get on the bike trail at least 2 or 3 miles before I get shade.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just like, man, I'll get on the bike.
But last year, Market Mile, the weather was awesome, and we've lucked out all year with weather
until now.
With all of our events we've done,
every event we've done.
Yeah.
So sign up. It's going to be great weather.
Yeah.
Because 2 Guys 1 Scout is going to be there. Obviously.
So for the 300, there's 300 people that are going to sign up from watching this. So we get 100 more than last year. I think that's our goal today.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you.
So go to the link in the description of this video, sign up, join our team, use our discount code, and we'll see you there. We'll all be there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great event. You run right down by the arch along the park and you finish at the aquarium. I mean, it's pretty special.
Yeah, it is.
And the most important thing for me that I just want to get across too is it's the nonprofits that we benefit. So we have four nonprofits we work with. So Boys and Girls Club is our new addition this year, but Peter and Paul Community Services, Great Rivers Greenway, and Backstoppers. And so as you guys know, like it's really fun in the registration process. You get to select which of the nonprofits you want a portion of your proceeds to go to. And so that's another piece that I'm just really proud of with the event is that it's not just, about getting people to run as fast as they can, but it's about people coming together to do something greater for the St. Louis community. And so I'm really pumped about the Boys and Girls Club being that 4th edition, because we were really kind of searching for the youth component as well. Yeah. So we set it up where we have green space, which is Great Rivers Greenway, and then mental health and unhoused with Peter and Paul Community Services. And then we wanted to find a way to benefit first responders, and that's Backstoppers. And then that 4th piece was like, how can we benefit the youth in St. Louis? That's where Boys and Girls Club came in. So we're fired up about that.
Sure. That was one thing that kind of drew me to when I reached out to you, was like, I thought that was such an awesome thing, because you don't see that very often, especially when you get to choose. So that's great. And, I know you host a bunch of other races. We've always just happened to have something going on and been wanting to do one of them. But they seem to all do kind of the same thing, which is awesome.
Chain of Rocks, we give $6,000 each year to a different nonprofit, and it's in honor of Route 66 for 6K. So our race is 6K, Route 66, and then we give away 6,000. So this year we did the Jackie Joyner Gersey Foundation, and it was so cool. She came to the event, and it was pouring down rain. I mean, the weather couldn't have been worse for this event. And it's really exciting just to see all the running clubs come together and we do this fun, super unique event. And then afterwards it was just kind of spontaneous. Like I wanted obviously get a photo with the check. The fake check that we brought with Jackie. Yeah. Like that was a priority. If she showed up, I was like, and I told one of our staff members, I was like, she might come for 5 minutes. So we need to have this check ready. Yeah. We get it done. And she stayed the whole event, which was just incredible. Like she did that on her own in the pouring down rain. She cheered for every single person. Awesome. And then she stayed around afterwards. And so it was funny, like we're wrapping up and we're about to, consider like, where are we going to do this photo? And I'm just thinking, do you think like at a natural road race, like, do you ever like have a group photo with like all the participants that are left? And I was like, yeah, let's just do it. So the spontaneous, instead of like, because originally it was like, okay, we'll just do our team with Jackie. Yeah. Like, no, let's like make this meaningful. So we have this great photo of Jackie with all the runners that were left at the event, with the bridge in the background of Chain of Rocks. Awesome. And incredible. And so just big piece for me is like the charitable component. I've been doing this for over 10 years. Like that's what I'm tied to. I love putting events on, and then I love having the ability to give the impact piece.
Yeah, for sure. And then there was the Dogwood run.
That was our first year.
How did that go?
That went really well. Yeah, thanks for asking. And what's incredible about these events is that like all the ones that we put on, they're all different, they're all unique, and they all have different numbers. And so for this event was really geared towards like the city of Ladue having like a festival. And there used to be this festival called the Dogwood Parade, and then they got rid of it. And so this year we brought it back with in the form of a run. So it's really more of like a community event. We did 3K.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's why I was like, I could do that.
So you get kind of catching on here. I don't do normal distances. 6K, 3K. So it was something different. I felt like it was approachable for the community members, and it featured kind of a fun loop that people already do a lot in the area. And we were able to raise $8,500 for the Ollie Hinkle Heart Foundation, which was really great. Awesome. And they're an amazing partner as well. They're if you're not familiar with them, they are affiliated owning Olive and Oak and O&O Pizza Pasta and Clover to Be, but they lost.
I love all those places, by the way.
Yeah. They lost Ollie. I forget how old Ollie was when he passed away, but they've honored Ollie through this foundation. They've just done amazing work, and it's been all tied with children's hearts and just incredible people, incredible organization. And so what was fun about that event was like, it was a smaller event. We had just about 300 people for it, but we were really able to capture afterwards like a really good raffle. And so that raised us like an extra $1,500.
Awesome.
So just like finding ways to do different stuff that we can bring people together and then leverage that to give back, which is the component here.
Yeah. Because we've been toying around with the idea of hosting some sort of event. We
even have a name for it.
Yeah, we quickly realized that it's a lot of work. So that is something that I definitely want to try to do next year. Yeah. And we actually have to stick with it and do it.
Give accountability on the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
if you do it, you let me know. I'd love to help
for
in any
sure.
way that
Absolutely.
I can.
Absolutely.
Because I think you guys would do an amazing job with it. And I also think like the brand itself could be fun to have something tied to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it really, I think, would hit home with a lot of people. And a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do might not resonate as much with a competitive runner as it is going to be from somebody that's been through their journey.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like that might be the piece that people need to get out there.
I have an idea that I've been toying with. Well, I'll run it by you when we're not recording. I don't want to put stuff out there and then it not come to fruition, but I have an idea. I've told you about it. I think it could be super fun and it would be very us. So I love it. More details hopefully to come in the coming weeks.
We did sign up for another bike ride too, where we get 2 beers and 2 brats.
We did.
Definitely up his alley.
Yeah,
it's called the Von
Brot Tour Von Brot or something like that.
Oh,
it's in Highland, Illinois.
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a great event.
Yeah. It's 30 miles. I'm looking forward to it.
30 miles and you get 2 beers and 2 brats.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if it's during the race or after the race.
Will you ride will you guys do it more casually or will you do it?
We've been talking about that because our third amigo who does all of our tries with us, Alex, that was his question. I think we're going to try to keep up with Scott.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to do.
When is it?
Scott's pace.
It's October or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to think about that.
Yeah, you
want
to
ride with you?
I'd
like to ride with you guys.
Yeah, no, I ride a lot. Where do you normally ride at?
I ride really like Forest Park, or I ride Webster and Kirkwood. I live in Webster, so I just ride a lot in those areas. I'm kind of a little bit gun shy of the roads.
We are too.
You know, because I see people always, kind of, and I'm not like as competitive as a biker. I ride a hybrid. Yeah. So I'm fine with where I'm at, whatever the case is.
Like where I ride is Grants Trail, like all the time.
Love Grants Trail.
I'm sure you saw that guy got hit.
I know
a month ago.
Yeah,
and I ride that.
You see his bike
once a week,
or the white bike that honors him now. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, horrible.
What happened?
He was going over one of the intersections, got smoked.
Yeah, I think he had like a fall or something that happened. And the car had no time to respond.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just like a really unfortunate thing that happened.
Yeah.
But
when I was stopped at that bike and I was like, oh yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that kind of bike in different areas of town and I always wonder why, like U City has that.
Mm-hmm.
On Delmar Hill, there's just this white bike that just sits on the side there. I'm like, why is it just always there? And then seeing that, I'm like, okay, obviously in the bike community, that's a way that they, do as a memorial. But I made a really dumb choice on Sunday afternoon. I left my house at 4:00 to go ride. And, I figured that I just like ride over to Grants Trail. And then, like the wind's at your back and you feel great. And I'm like, I'm just like taking it easy, casual. And I'm 14 miles out then. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I guess I got to go back. And I didn't prepare with water, or didn't have the things. And so I'm like getting towards the end of this and I'm like, and it was 95 degrees. That's how I'm like, this is a really dumb idea.
We did that Sunday.
Chain of Rock. Well, we did that Sunday. Chain of Rocks. Yeah. We rode all the way down to the arch.
Oh yeah, that's a great ride.
And I kept saying, no, I want to go back. He's like, it's only a mile up. I'm like, no, it's like 6 miles up still. And it was like 6 miles up.
I was punishing Charles a little bit because it was real hot. I loved
Sunday
that
was
ride,
tough.
Though.
Yeah.
It's a great ride. A little sketchy in some areas, but
there's nobody out there.
Yeah,
nobody.
There's not a soul out there.
Yeah,
I can't believe that path is not used more because it's no interaction with the road except for right there as soon as you get off the Chain of Rocks Bridge.
Yeah,
you're away from the public eye, and it's just a great ride.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man, hit me up whenever. I'll go riding.
Okay,
I love riding.
I'd love to hear that.
I'll bring my hybrid bike.
Okay,
too, so.
Cool. We got to keep it
you'll
even.
Probably put me to work.
We'll have to keep it at even playing field.
No, take your race bike.
No. I've been putting in a lot of work on the bike this summer. So
that's awesome. Good for you.
Felt good. But
he's crushing the bike right
trying to. So you're getting more into biking, but I kind of want to talk to you like how did all of this start for you? Because you've got a running coaching company. You're a race director. What else does Mark stay busy with? How did all this get started?
Yeah. It's kind of like a random way that everything kind of formed. But I ran high school cross country and track and field, and ran a year in college, and was always passionate about the sport. And when I came back to St. Louis, got a job at Big River Running Company. And
where did you go to school at?
It was a school called Rider University. So it's in New Jersey. And so
I'm sure my wife knows.
Yeah.
My wife went to.
You better know this.
This is for graduate school.
Rowan?
No, not Rowan.
Princeton?
It was in Princeton. I went to a wedding in Princeton though. It was really cool.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill Montclair.
Montclair. Okay, yeah. Montclair County, I think, is around there and everything. So it's it was a great time. Good job. Yeah, shout out.
Saved myself there.
Shout out to It's just grad school. It's not like it was
her first graduate degree.
Yeah, that's what makes it really difficult.
Yeah.
So.
So you came back to St. Louis and you started working at Big River.
Yeah, so worked at Big River, did that for about 5 years, and during that time, I was got a coaching job at Ladue High School, cross country and track there, and then did the youth programs as well there. And I was just 20 years old when I started, I guess I was 19 when I started working at Big River, and then got the coaching job in my 20 years old, 21 years old, and so. During that time, I was just doing a lot of just running related stuff. I also picked up a job with a company called Orange Mud, where I traveled to different running specific conventions, but also outdoor conventions too. Orange Muds, they sell hydration vests and packs, and they do a lot in the outdoor space with mountain biking and hiking and running and ultra running, all the different stuff. And so I was just doing a lot of different stuff, and then also coaching. And at that time, people were coming to me and saying, it would be a parent on the cross country team or whatever the case was, oh, I'm going to do a half marathon. Can you help me with the advice? Or somebody comes in the store and they ask you for stuff. And so as time kind of went on, I would just, write people training plans, sometimes just writing it out on a piece of paper at the store. Hey, here's what you should try. And liked it, enjoyed it, but wasn't something that I wanted to do professionally. Yeah. And so finally there was a guy named Mike Miller. He came in to work one day, and he came in on the busiest day you could possibly think of for us. And we were trained, so much about no matter how busy the store is, give everybody, 110%, and try to give the best possible service that they can get. And so we had this team day, all the SLU High cross country kids were there, and it was just absolutely bonkers. And he comes in and he just has a shoe that he's worn forever, and he just wants a replacement. And I always use this story because years prior, whether this was a true story or not, I contest that it's not true. Is I had a guy I worked with who told me that there was a customer who I called the store and talked to one of my coworkers who did not confirm the story was true, and said basically I provided this really bad experience. I didn't take this customer through the fit process and all this different stuff. And I just kind of wrapped it up as time went on as maybe he was just trying to humble me. I was probably young. I was probably a little bit cocky. Things were going well. And so, but once, you get told that you did a bad job, it scares the shit out of you.
Yeah, for sure.
I apologize. It's okay if I cuss on the pod. Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. So I was terrified, this is all I care about in my life, selling shoes and, doing the best job I possibly can. And so I'm doing that, and then hearing that, it's your whole world shook. It's the first time somebody tells you you're not so good at something. Yeah. And so it humbled me. And so from there on, I was like a robot in terms of I'm going to follow every procedure correctly, do everything. So nobody can ever say again that I didn't do it right. For sure. So this guy comes in and, I think anybody would just give him a replacement on shoes because he was so busy, but I'm just thinking he's a secret shopper. He's somebody that's going to come back and say this. So I just took him through the fit process, gave him a great experience. And he was so blown away because he actually owned his own company and he was a sales guy. And so I think he could recognize oh, this guy's a young guy. He's doing a good job. And I got him in a new shoe that was not, he was wearing, for the tech terms of it, he was wearing a neutral running shoe. Yeah. Or sorry, he was wearing a, I forget. I think he was wearing a neutral shoe, but he needed a high cushion neutral shoe because he was a supinator where he lands on the outside of his feet when he runs. And so he just needed a more supportive shoe that had more cushion. And so we got him in the right shoe that changed his running. And so he came back the next day to tell one of the managers that worked there about his experience. And then he literally just kept talking to me at the store. He kept coming in. I just built this awesome relationship with him. So all this to be said, I started kind of helping him out, coaching him, and ended up helping him for the Chicago Marathon. And what scared the crap out of me was that his wife told me halfway through the training that he had had 3 heart attacks. Holy shit. So I was I should have known that. He's it doesn't hold me back. I'm well, it could, it could hold you back. Yeah. So he really throughout this whole process encouraged me, you're really good at this, and really kind of gassed me up and made me feel excited about it. And so he came to me and was like, you should do this for, full time. Like you should, this could be a job of yours. And I was like, that sounds kind of stupid. Like, be a personal running coach. Now that doesn't sound like me. At this time, I'm still like, I was going to school at Merrimack. I'm trying to get a degree. I'm trying to coach. I'm doing all these different things. So I just didn't take it very serious. So I was like, well, I am coaching a few other people for free with Mike as well. And so I was like, if I do well with them in the fall, I'll start a business. And if I don't, no worries. And so they all did really well that fall, and I started a business. And the last thing I'll say is that I never actually wanted my name to be affiliated with the business. And he was like, you need to have it Spewak Training. He needs your name on it. And I don't think I would have probably gone that route if it wasn't for him. And even to this day, I wouldn't have gone that route either. So it's funny because I always give my dad shit. I'm like, I don't see our last name as last name anymore. I see it as a brand. And he's like, it's your last name. I'm like, no, it's more of a brand. But now it's like kind of funny. I'm like, well, I've done it differently. So that's kind of what tracked that. So then I started putting on charity running events. I was still going to school part-time and doing all this different stuff. I had like a million jobs and a million things that were going on. But as the coaching business got bigger, then I was able to scale back on the other stuff. And so the coaching business really started off as like a 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night kind of job. When I would get home from work and get home from school, that's when I would do it. And then to be all the weekends and everything like that. And then it got to the point where, oh my gosh, I can, scale back on something else and start doing it during the day. And so it's kind of crazy. I think when you're really passionate about something, I mean, you guys obviously record this podcast after work, like, when you love something so much and you're so invested in it, you do whatever you can do, and it doesn't matter to you that it's later at night and that you're sacrificing social time and things like that.
Definitely some late night edits that I've had for sure. I was gonna say
he spends more time than me because he does all the videos.
I would say, I mean, I know that's obviously your last name, but I see your tank tops and shirts out at all these races that we do, so I'm like, man, like, so it is a brand as well. So
appreciate it.
It's awesome to see. Every time I see it, I'm like, that's awesome.
It sounded like an inadvertent passion project, right? That turned into something. What's your passion project now?
Having the podcast, I think, is one piece, is it. And then we started a racing team. So we started a nonprofit called Spewak Racing. So the business, Spewak Training. And then after, really like during COVID, my coaching business really had to pivot a lot because races stopped. And so people, my biggest thing was like, I tell people all the time how important it is to, to be there for, like, that I'm there for them and supporting them and all the rest of the stuff, and I'm saying all this, things that are just going to sound like bullshit if I'm not actually there for people. And so when COVID hit, I was like, I need to find ways to actually generally support our clients. And so that was like coaching people for free if they lost their jobs, or it was, like trying to find ways to just keep people motivated and keep them going. And so the business really pivoted throughout COVID to putting on virtual running events for our clients. And during that time, we had so many people that wanted to be a part of what we were doing, but weren't clients and didn't really necessarily ever want to be a client. They just wanted people to kind of like virtually run with and have a community. And we also raised tons of money. I think we raised close to $20,000 through all those different events that we put on. And so we just kind of decided, once we got really where we felt more comfortable coming back together, that we could put basically have like an organization that was a nonprofit that'd be devoted to raising money and giving back to the St. Louis community. And then at the same time, doing it with camaraderie and the community aspect of it. And so having people come together. And so we meet 3 times a week. We do team speed workouts on Wednesday mornings together. We do group runs over the weekends. We do these races. So when you see our singlet, it's most likely the Spewak Racing tank. You'll see the Spewak Training tanks, but the Spewak Racing team. And so it's $100 a year. You join the club. We actually just announced a new partnership where we sponsor a school called Confluence Prep, which is in downtown St. Louis. And so we bought their team uniforms, and then we bought them shoes and different gear. Was just at practice yesterday. We're going to go out to their meets this year and be like kind of the supporters, sponsor, but also like actually meeting the kids and being part of the program, which is really cool. So that's the piece that I'm really passionate about. So it's our organization, we do cleanups, things like that. So it's a running club, but it's really, the goal is the charitable aspect of it behind it. So that's what we're trying to do. So appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. But and then you mentioned it earlier, you got the podcast, which is your passion project.
Yeah. I'm not as good as you guys.
No, you're a little more professional. Right. We're kind of fly by the seat of our pants type of
thing. Your video, I mean, I'm not just saying this to, just to say it, like the video and things that you guys do a great job. And like, I love that pizza episode that you had with the guy.
Pizza Babble.
And that was great. And it's just great banter. You guys are comfortable with each other. And you have the whole studio here. It's fantastic to watch. I mean,
it is a lot of fun.
The Pizza Babble was awesome.
It was a good episode.
I brought Chuck E. Cheese pizza for an aid.
I
thought it was hilarious.
Did you see that Chuck E. Cheese got arrested?
Yeah, I did see that.
What happened?
One of the employees in the Chuck E. Cheese
he
costume.
Was in the costume, they cuffed him and brought him to the cop car in full costume.
Traumatizing for those kids.
You serious?
Yeah.
What did he get arrested for?
I don't remember.
I think it was like extortion. Like it was not like anything like child pedophile or anything. It was just stealing things. Not that that's a good thing by any means, but it was better than the alternative.
Give me your ring, pops.
It's a lot of fun. Obviously, we, as you can, I mean, we've kind of both relaxed on our fitness stuff. Like we're still doing races. We're still working out like crazy, but our diet, which is like the biggest thing we've really big time relaxed on, I'm starting to fall off now. And we were talking yesterday. I'm like, obviously, anyone who's struggled with weight, like, there's something mental that's going on, And I told Charles, I'm like, I don't know why I'm kind of like in a funk. I'm a little bit depressed, and I'm medicating with food, and I don't know why the fuck I'm doing it. And
it's weird too because like I did great all week last week, and then the weekend happened, and I was down like 4 pounds. Mm-hmm. Now it's all back because of a terrible weekend, right? Yeah, it happens. And then again today, I've had 0 carbs today. I've had absolutely zero.
That's awesome, man.
Today. Yeah, that's how Charles has had his most successes with the no carb.
Low carb, but today it's been no carb.
Yeah, so. I feel like because we've kind of really switched up the podcast, which has been a lot of fun. We've had people on, we've got you back on, we've had Pizza Babble on. It's been great, but I think next week we need to refocus and like start. Dropping weight again.
Yeah, I think
because that's what it's all about. That's why we started it.
Yes, and I think it's good that we talk about our failures a lot because I've been failing for 6 months now. Well, not failing, but this guy has had great success up until a month and a half ago. Yeah, like you're still down almost.
I was more focused on the fitness part of things, and I'm like, you know what? I'm running. I biked 100 miles in the past. I can drink a beer. Weeks. Yeah. I'll drink some beers. I'll eat some pizza. And it's just been it's a slippery slope, as everybody knows. It's lost weight.
I had pizza this weekend too.
It's finding that balance.
It was buy one get one free at Papa John's. So I went to get the kids a pizza, and I was like, I can get my. So I had 3 slices of pizza this week.
There you go.
Well, it's like finding that balance, right, between like giving yourself grace, but also continue to challenge yourself. Mm-hmm. And maybe for you guys, like having those goals and is a big piece of it. And to be sustainable for your whole lifetime, you can't just be super rigid all the time either.
Exactly.
We have to have ebbs and flows.
Exactly.
So you have to give yourself a little bit of grace in the process, and as long as you're motivated to keep it going,
Yeah.
You give an inch and I'll take 3.
No, I know.
And I'll take the Angus cheesesteak from Arby's.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, like, I obviously love doing this. It's kind of a passion project. We're not making money. No. I mean, I think we made a few dollars here and there, but it's just more fun. And I love doing the triathlons and the races that we do, and I love like promoting the Market Mile, and we've talked about the dogwood run and stuff. We just had a lot of stuff going on this year.
Oh no, totally fine.
And I love talking about that kind of stuff.
The St. Louis
and
running community is awesome.
Yeah, and
like it just brings you in. Like the very first race that we did in the St. Louis area, I was just like, everybody was just so nice.
People are great.
And when you get to I'm sorry, but I think our country's become cynical. We're just negative people anymore. Mm-hmm. And it's so refreshing to have all that positive energy back.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just how it used to be, like more of a community. And that it is. It's a running community.
For sure.
I wish it was like that everywhere, because that's how it used to be.
Would be nice. But
it would be.
But I was just gonna say, like, it's what I was going to ask was, what got you started?
You like how I stopped him right there? I just threw a monkey wrench in what he was thinking.
He loves to do that. No, I was going to ask, like, what got you started with the podcast? And you've had, was it 100 episodes just recently?
50
episodes. 50 episodes. Yeah.
I've done this since 2020. You know, I was always interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a few podcasts like before podcasts were even like popular. I remember back in the day, and like always found that to be fun. You know, and it was exciting. You know, and
it is fun. It's a lot of fun,
and it was a blast. And I, you know, always enjoy telling my story and you know connecting with people through it. And I just kind of felt weird about starting one, and then finally, like, I just was encouraged to do it, and so started during 2020 during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then really just like my goal was just to interview like people who I felt were I really like feel like these are the people that are celebrities in my eyes.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
and I want to share those people with the world. You know, and so sharing that was really important to me, and so did that for you know several years, and I just felt like in the last year I just kind of got every episode we do, like I have fun with it. Like there was never like I never didn't enjoy what I was doing. I just felt like, you know, when you're thinking about it, you just think it's like stale. Like even though you're doing, you know, you could be doing a great job
that every week.
Yeah, you're just like, is there something more I could be doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what else? And so that's when I just kind of started to think, you know, maybe I need to change it up a little bit. So once we got to 50, I took a break for a few months, which I hadn't done in a while. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to just focus on just trying to figure out, you know, what makes sense for the podcast kind of moving forward. And I've started doing some shorter form episodes because everything I do is pretty much like an hour plus.
Yep.
And so I just figured, you know, maybe I'll start doing some 20-minute episodes and things like that. And so I'm just trying to get back to the roots and try some different stuff. And
yeah, for sure.
It's one of those things I think if I had more time, you know, like I don't use the excuse of like, I don't have enough time because we all have time. It's the mental energy space of the time, you know? So I put so much of my heart and soul into Spewak training, Spewak racing, you know, the events that we put on, that when it comes to the Mission of Speed podcast, to put that extra outs into it, it's a little harder. And sometimes I also feel bad about putting extra stuff into it or trying to like get friends on board with it, because then I feel like if I'm promoting too much, then I'm, you know,
you're annoying them.
Yeah, like I'm annoying Spewak racing, Spewak training.
I just don't care. I'm just like, hey, you're coming on.
And less about the people that I'm bringing onto the podcast, more about like me trying to set up another brand. Like, you know, like I almost feel like I'm already exhausting people with everything that I'm doing already. So trying to give them a break after, you know, 5 o'clock. They don't have to read anything else from me for the day.
No, but it's great. Like I've listened to a few of your episodes. Like I listened to the one with the guy with the Great Rivers Greenway, like director or something. That was Mark a great one. All the plans that they have, and I know some of them are like the brick line is coming. Like they're completing that, and
we're big into the Greenway. We don't.
I use it every day.
Our bikes on the road, like you were saying. So we would like them all to get connected as quickly as possible.
And they're doing that.
It's awesome.
It's incredible. Mark Vogel, amazing guy, and they've just worked so hard. And that's you know, that's what's fun about those episodes. You get to sit down and then you learn something from it. And I just did a podcast with Bellefontaine Cemetery.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We're going to put them up. And I think they're actually going to be at the Market Mile too. They're going to have a tent there. But that was so cool because they're telling me all about the people that are buried at Bellefontaine Cemetery and all these big names in St. Louis.
Huge names.
I know they do like a 5K too.
They do. Yes. Yeah. They have a fall one and they have a spring one.
Yeah.
So
isn't there a president there?
I don't. Maybe they have. I mean, they've got every, you know, major St. Louis exec there and everything.
Yeah, because I watched an actual documentary on them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great podcast. We'll obviously link to that as well. So definitely go check out Mark's podcast.
Appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun when we were on. But
you actually inspired him, by the way. After we left your podcast last year, he was like, that was so much fun. That was the greatest podcast ever. We have to up our game. And that's when all of a sudden he went out and got new mics and everything.
Look at it.
I got to take this serious.
This is cool.
I did.
Well, shout out Bill Smith. I mean, he makes the production. I just show up. I mean, he's the one that does that. So it's all him. But I mean, this is a great setup. This is so cool.
It's been a lot of research and time, and it's definitely very us. I've got all my Star Wars junk behind me and
a bike,
medals and
beers.
Well, that's the bike that fell off the back of my truck.
Okay,
got demolished. Yeah, on the way to Chicago. It was. I felt real bad.
Is it hanging on like a light string or?
No, it's a nail. I hung it up on purpose. It's part. It's one.
I was like, does it plug into the light?
No.
You should light it up.
No. But no, I mean, like, starting a podcast has been one of the most fun things.
That's awesome. Well,
it really has. And like you said, I second guess myself all the time, and I'm sure for the people that follow us, like, our social media has been kind of lacking a little bit lately because I've been, you know, the mental busyness that we were just talking about. Like it's hard to keep up sometimes and keep up with the diet and keep up with training for races and everything.
We have a lull in races right now. So you kind of take your foot off the gas.
Exactly.
So
exactly. But
it kind of does.
No, I'm excited to, continue doing this and growing the brand and everything. And
well, from the and from my perspective, what I'm seeing is that, well, first and foremost, like last year, it was you two that showed up to the race, and now you've got 12, 13 people that have signed up.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's another piece of it that's huge. But you have more of a following. You're bringing on guests. I mean, there's a lot that you guys are doing that is showing progress. I just think when you're consistent with anything, nothing's sexy.
Yeah,
because consistency is not sexy. Consistency is hard work that you do every single day, and you work really hard at it, and you do it year round, and you see the success sometimes.
Yeah.
But a lot of times you don't really get to benefit from it the same way that you are if you're looking from my shoes, or whatever the case is. And so it's the same with your fitness journey. It's the same with everything else. And so how I view it is like, I think, you're a baseball guy. So like, I think baseball is like one of the best analogies for life because, you play 162 games in a season and those guys are playing nine innings a game, and you can go down 6-0 in the second inning. And somebody's still got to go to the mound and pitch, and get back out there, and how to deal with that imperfect game. Because now we're all pissed off because Fetty just let up 6 runs, 9 runs, and now we got to pitch the rest of the game. But then I'll never forget this. Cardinals was like 3 or 4. It was probably about 3 years ago at this point. They were playing the Reds, and it was in July, super hot, random July night, and they were at Cincinnati, and they went down like probably 7-0 or something early on in the game. They came back and won it later on in the game, and it's just like how do they have the fight at that point, and so it kind of gets off the tangent of my like consistency piece. But I think there's just that inevitable, like when you're in a grind of something, you have to keep yourself inspired to keep pushing and set goals for yourself,
for sure,
to have that for you.
I use baseball analogies all the time.
Yeah, I think it's awesome
because they, like you said, they play that many games and they still work out every day.
Yep.
They still go through the fundamentals of field and ground balls every day. They don't just show up and play baseball. They practice, and that's not the sexy part of the game, right?
No.
It's the actual game. It's the home runs. It's the
exactly. And that can be related to running and triathlons and podcasting or whatever. It can apply to everything.
Yeah, it really can.
I think at the end of the day, if you're proud of what you do and you feel you're making an impact, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think if you're in it, and if you're in things in life just to have like to put yourself out there and say I want to make a huge impact, things like that. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with like that mentality, but I feel like if it's just like your only sole purpose is like go big or go home, and you're not thinking about the day to day, you're missing out. Because it's the day to day stuff that changes people's lives,
for sure,
gives people a perspective, and so you never know what your podcast does for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do talk. I've run into people that recognize me from the podcast.
That's
at
cool.
A few races, which
That's
was
really cool.
Crazy that I didn't know.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Like autographs later.
No. I play in a cover band too, and we signed autographs a few shows ago, and that was the weirdest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. It was bizarre. It was so weird.
For playing covers. Playing covers.
I felt so awkward doing it, but it's a lot of fun. But
that's awesome.
So questions of the week.
I had a few more questions for Mark.
Oh,
dude.
You did?
Yeah.
I was trying to give him a little break here, a little mental break,
I was going to say, so Spewak training is like your day job, right?
Yeah.
Was there like a certain point in time where it was like, oh shit, I can just do this full time now? Like this is awesome, or was it scary?
Yeah. So Spewak training turns 10 this fall, and so I would say it probably took about 4 to 5 years for it to really know that it was going to be like I was working full time, but it was one of those jobs where you're really working probably like 30-40 hours a week or whatever the case is. Not that there's anything wrong working 30-40 hours a week. It's just that when anybody I think that knows when they own a business, it's never 30-40 hours a week. So it just doubles in time. My wife, she's a corporate lawyer. We were laughing about this the other day. She's like, I wish we had 4 hours extra in the day. And I'm like, why? We would just work for an extra 4 hours.
Exactly.
I'm like, she's like, you would just work the extra 4 hours. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to have another passion project, hobby? Like, no, you're not actually doing it. So once it got to be 4 or 5 years in, and then adding this other stuff in, that's when those kind of hours rose up to the point of being able to do it full time, in that aspect of it. So was definitely doing it full time, but I just had kind of more flexibility early on to slack off if I needed to slack off, and
for sure.
There's a great accountability in like not having time. And I love that, to be honest, because it's like, if you, I love it because I'm one of those people that like, could totally get on a tangent on YouTube and start watching, 2010 Sam Bradford videos, like
I know,
like
I
that's,
know the feeling.
That's like, could very well be my life if I don't have structure. I'm very lucky that I'm busy, because I would just be down the rabbit hole,
and TikTok, since you're new to it will suck you in, man.
It kills you, man. You know what I really love about TikTok is I love the Dave Portnoy's pizza reviews.
Oh yeah.
And I love watching them while I eat lunch. And everything when you're eating lunch just seems really good. I don't know why. It's like lunchtime, all you want is a pizza, and I'm never eating pizza, at lunch, but I love that. Like
I had one of his best reviews, the New Haven Frank Pepe's.
Was it good?
Connecticut. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
It was very awesome.
Was it hard to get in?
I was texting Pizza Babble about it.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was actually like we kind of just walked right in, but I mean, it was like a Monday at 2 p.m. or something like that.
So it was quiet.
Yeah, it was great, but it was cold. My first time having coal fired. It was
That's so cool.
It was great. Yeah. I think he gave it like an 8, 9 or something. It was they gave it a monster.
That's a big deal.
He's a Michigan fan, so I mean, I watch him all the time. But,
but one thing that I wanted to ask you about, I know you had shared this because our podcast is all about overcoming like our lifelong being fat guys. Well, not lifelong,
food
but
addiction.
our adult life. Yeah, food addiction. But you've dealt with something yourself. You had CSF. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, it's a CSF leak, which is basically like a small tear in your spinal cord. And it's unclear like how I got it.
Oh, that was going to be my first question.
Don't really know how it was. I just it started off in 2020. It actually started off, I'm trying to think about like the timeline, like kind of towards the end of the year, and then kind of lingering into that spring. I was just really having like neurological symptoms, but I just kind of ran through it and things like that. And then finally I got to the springtime, and I couldn't get out of bed. Like I was like, it was like I had like dead legs, like my arms, everything was falling asleep. And so I had all these tests done. They couldn't really figure out what was going on. And so I ended up taking about a month off exercise and just like gave myself time to just get back out there. And I really just kind of thought like this was a strength training issue. Like I just needed to get stronger. Like something was, I just had some weaknesses and I had some flare up or whatever the case was. And so that summer ended up just getting back into running and started feeling good, started strength training, and really got like the strongest and healthiest I'd ever been in my lifetime, and felt awesome. And everything kind of went dormant with my symptoms.
Oh,
so
really?
So I was kind of like, okay, well, I guess, nothing really, is there. Maybe it was in my head. Like, you don't really understand. You just move on. And so that fall I was like, I got to strike when the iron's hot. So I was like, I'm going to sign up for a marathon and do it. And then once you kind of go through an experience like that, you really have a lot of appreciation for, just being back and being healthy.
That's how I feel every time I get over being sick. I'm like, I thought I was going to be like that forever.
Yeah. And then you're like, wow, I feel so good. It's so great to go out. And so I go do the Houston Marathon, run a PR, pumped up, fired up, feel stronger, fitter than ever. And then I have a flare up after the marathon. And so then it just got so much worse to the point where it was that summer, I could barely walk on my feet. But it was weird. I could still muster out a run. It would shift, the pain in my feet would go to severe tightness in my legs. But then I'd stop running and I just have unbearable pain in my feet. It was just weird shit. Just all over my body was just having these symptoms where my hand would be on fire. It didn't make any sense. It was unexplainable. And so I dealt with that for about 6 more months, 8 more months. I kept trying to run through it, yo-yoing back and forth, got more tests, was diagnosed with one thing, didn't really know if that's what it was. And so it just was a process. And finally I was on a run, and I was with our group, and I just my leg just kind of seized up on the run. And I was like, I've been tripping and falling on runs up to this point because I'm having these issues. I'm I'm done. I'm just not. So I took a year off running, stayed away from the sport, just did biking and elliptical and stayed there. Still had symptoms for that year. And by the end of that year, I started having this weird head issue where my head was hurting. And then I started getting all this tightness in the back of my neck, and I get really dizzy. And it just got progressively worse, by the month, to the point where it's funny because like as a running coach, you would think that like I wouldn't be behind a computer, but like I'm behind a computer most of the day, doing like writing plans and emails and things like that. So like by the end of the day, like I'm really struggling with my head. And so that's when my neurologist was able to do some more testing, looked at the MRI, and was able to find it. You're able to diagnose it by seeing like an MRI on your brain, and you can see like it's like a flat tire for your brain. Whoa. So like like in the sense that like clearly there's air being sucked out or whatever the case is, and so it like looks deflated a little bit. And so he saw that, diagnosed it, and was able. It was right before I got married too, and so like up to my wedding, up to that point, even at my wedding, I fell like 4 or 5 times at the wedding. Wow. And I wasn't drunk. Like I was sober as could be.
I fell for different reasons.
Yeah. So just had like just a long time, but honestly, like I'd run, competitively for so many years, and then going through this, and then taking, the beginning was a process, and then taking a year off was a process. Like you learn so much about yourself, and you have to just like change your mindset. You got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And so to be honest, like now that I'm like, I got my, like last year I got the procedure done and was able to get some help, got some new medicine, but things just are never the same. And I just I can't run as much as I used to, or do it the same way. But like, and I think people like, wonder like, okay, like, must really be struggling. And it's like, it's kind of like what I put in that post. Like there's some days I just like I more like resent that it happened, but not really that upset in my day to day, if that makes sense. Like, it's just like, as an athlete, it just like sucks that like, man, it's just like, it just got like kind of ripped away from me, because I was really, I mean, I wasn't a professional runner by any means, but I had opportunities to run faster times and get better. And I was, some goals that I was really close to. And so to kind of like, and then to see like my peers that I trained with, like go do those things, like it was like, oh man, like I would have been right there doing it. But at the same time, it's like, I had a really good run literally as it. And then I also wonder too, like my business got super busy and things went on. And so I think in a lot of ways it was good, because it allowed me to focus on those things, which really always mattered most to me. Like, even when I was competitively running, like I wouldn't race the races that my clients would, because I want to be at the finish line, like present. Whenever I race, like I'm going to cross that finish line, and then I'm going to do what I need to do to like, go get sweats on, or, go to the bathroom, like whatever the case is. Like you're not going to be there at the finish line the same way, because like it's a cold race, you're not going to stand at the finish. And so that's more important to me than anything. So that's why like, it's like one of those things, like I miss out, but I don't miss out. That makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. I did not know the full story behind it, but so it's still, you had procedure done. Like, are you all good now? Or
it's unfortunate. Like, it's just like, it didn't fix everything. Like, thing, so it's like, I still have like, as we speak here, like as I talk, like, and that was the biggest issue. Like I just like, I start slurring my words, like at the end of the day, if I talk too much, just cause my neck gets so tight. So it's just bizarre. It's just this weird thing. And so I'm at the point now where like I take this medicine that's basically like a nerve pain blocker or whatever. And that helps. And, I do less running, because the less juggling with my head, the better.
I can imagine.
That's helpful for it. And I just do what I can.
That's why you ride a bike more now, right?
I ride the bike, and it's honestly, I love the bike, Now I will say, like last year I was getting really into biking, and I think I'm hot shit on the bike too, because I ride the hybrid, and I love passing people that have the full gear on and the full rides and everything. And so I'm not riding any like the Wildwood Hills. So I'm riding Webster and Kirkwood.
We've done the Wildwood Hills, and those are brutal.
Those are real. That's real riding. So I'm like that guy that goes to the gym, and like, is like totally kicking ass on the treadmill. But if he went to the race, like, he gets smoked. That's like where my mindset is.
That Forest Park Hill's no joke. Either, though, so.
Oh yeah. So I'm on this bike, and I'm loving it and crushing it. And I'm riding towards Holmes and near Grants Trail, if you guys are familiar with that, and Kirkwood. And I guess there was a piece of glass in my wheel and my tire, and I didn't know that. And I guess my front wheel had been like deflating the whole time, and I didn't even know this. And so I'm driving, basically like going down a hill and turning right, because like when you go down Holmes, there's like neighborhoods. And so I was going to the right, and I just like, there's a car coming this way, and then there's a bus right in front of me.
Holy shit.
And I see like the bike, like I as I'm making the turn, I'm like, I see the tire just like, basically done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I don't have a front. right now. And I'm like, oh shit. And like, I've fallen a lot in my runs, especially in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
So I know what it's like to fall on a run. And I always like mindset or whatever. I don't know how this is, but like, I just have always had enough athletic genes in my body to be able to not break anything when I fall.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens, but I
We're
always
lucky.
say, yeah,
We're lucky.
I save my ass every time. Now I say this, I probably go, but every time, any fall I've ever had, I save my ass every time.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get bruised up, whatever, but I save my ass every freaking time. And so this time through, I'm thinking like, it's so crazy that I'm thinking about this. So like right before I fall, like about to crash, I think, this is not going to feel like what it does when you're running. Like that was my last thought. Like I was thinking,
it's
like,
going to be so much worse.
Yeah, I was probably going like 25 miles per hour.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking in my head, like, you're going to go off it. And I expected to break. Like I was like, there's a good chance. Like that's my last thought. I wasn't scared.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why that was. It wasn't like I was scared or I was like, you don't have enough time to be scared or nervous.
Yeah.
The last thought I had was, you're going to break something. So be prepared. So I go down and I'm laying on the ground and I am like, of course, cussing. I'm like, oh, fuck. There's a school bus right there and somebody that witnessed it. And I definitely like blew the stop sign beforehand. So probably somebody that saw it was probably like, good for you. And so
you deserve that.
I'm on the ground and like, I am just like, I thought like, get up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very apparent when like, I was not able to get up. Like I was like, I needed that extra like 30. It wasn't like, oh, I was trying to milk it, waiting for the people, whatever. I was like, no, like there's probably, whatever. And when your body goes into shock, like it's just uncontrollably shaking. But I was so lucky. Nothing was broken. I just was like basically just bruised up, scraped up everywhere on my leg, my body, but somehow caught myself. And I was just like so fortunate.
Yeah.
And so, but then the problem was the tire is still flat and a guy helped me out. Like there was a biker that came by. The bike community is so great too. Like they're so supportive. And he came and gave me a little bit of air. And then, and I didn't have my phone on me. This is the dumbest part of the story. Anybody with a wife will get, will appreciate this. Yeah. But I email my wife because I don't have her phone number memorized. And so now, of course, I do. Shout out Shucks too, because I had the rewards now there too. So I have her number so I can remember it. So I email her on some guy's phone. Because somebody stopped, like, do you want to tell somebody? And because I wasn't going to make it back in fashionable time. Yeah. So I emailed and the subject line, I forget what I said specifically, but it was like Mark on a stranger's phone. And then I just like basically put like, I got in a bike crash. I'm okay. I'll be home soon. And so she was like shopping before she went to work on her laptop and saw the email come through. Wow. And so like I made it a little bit and then the bike was like crashing out because the air was not staying in. Yeah. And so then I started walking. I'm just walking the sad way down Lockwood Road, blood everywhere. And there she is driving up. And I'm like, oh, and she gave me so much shit.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Not knowing her number.
Oh, I've gotten that. I know it now because we had I didn't have to call my wife because anything bad happened, but we were like checking in somewhere and like they asked for a phone number and they asked for my wife's phone number and I like pulled out my phone. She's like, you don't know my phone number? I'm like, do you know mine? She's like, yes. I was like, fuck.
Of course she does. She's prepared.
Yeah. I don't have yours memorized.
I don't have yours memorized either.
I have my mom, my brother, Kevin's because it was easy. And a couple of my best friends.
All my friends from high school.
Before
I still remember those. Yeah, I still remember my friends from high school.
Yeah, I remember.
But I met my wife in 2019 or 18, so like we didn't need to remember phone numbers then.
You didn't fuck up your bike, which was a good thing. You didn't fuck your body up.
Nope.
Did you get a phone carrier though on your bike?
I did not.
You don't have that way you track
smart.
your speed and everything.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Because I just use my Garmin when I ride or whatever. Now I will say though, is I always do bring my phone. I still wear my shorts that have like the skid marks on them.
Oh, nice.
Like, you're not getting that road rash out of it. Like
I was riding the Edwardsville trails years ago when the first time I got into bike riding in like 2013 or 14 or something like that. Yeah. I blew out a tire like 10 miles from my car. Shit. And like up in Edwardsville, like you cannot see anybody for miles.
Yeah.
And I had to walk my bike all the way back.
That's
it was
terrifying.
Awful. It was awful. I didn't crash or anything. It's just I was going and I was like, why does my back tire feel like I'm dragging something?
Yeah.
And then I like went on a turn and started to slide out. I was like, oh, it's just completely. I ran over something. And there was just a huge split in the middle of the tire, so I had to walk back.
Every time
I
run over something on those race tires, I feel like. Because
I did it. I did it on River to Pear the other day. I did it. I put in new tubes and tires on my race bike because I hit something during the St. Louis Triathlon.
Yep.
And I immediately blew the back one out. So I was like, I'm just cursed this week, but it's been good ever since.
He drove all the way over to do Chain of Rocks with me,
which is awesome. Yeah.
And his tire was flat. We couldn't get it aired up.
Yeah. And I didn't bring a tube because I
can't stop coughing.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. But
oh man.
But anyways, we'll do one of the regular things. Well, you had a question this week? I don't have one. I didn't even think about it.
No, I was just going to do the goof and the.
Oh yeah, so we have a thing we talked about it a little bit beforehand. We have a non-scale victory of the week, and then we have the goof of the week. I'll start it off. Non-scale victory of the week was our bike ride up in Edwardsville.
Yep.
I was hungover. It was like 105 degrees, and I felt great. I could have kept going.
I was done because I had just done it the day before.
I know. I felt great, man. Like I went up the hill and I averaged like that huge fucking hill, and I was went up the hill at 17 miles an hour, which I'm pretty proud of.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty proud of that.
You must have been killing it.
Yeah, I was cruising. Cruising. I've really been, like I said before, I've been putting in a lot of work on the bike this summer. Kind of weird. As much as I love fall and winter, like I'm a little sad that I'm not gonna be able to ride my bike as much. But my goof of the week is I just keep eating popcorn, dude.
my goof is eating Papa John's on Saturday and then eating leftover Papa John's on Sunday. But this weekend I rode like 30 miles.
Yeah.
Right around there. So that was my win of the week.
Oh, yeah, I think I made it to 120 this month. 120 miles. Something like that. Yeah.
What was your wins and your goofs of the week, Bob?
I didn't have any. I don't think I had any wins. You
always got to win.
The win was, I think the win was like, being able to be at the cross country practice yesterday with the kids and, being a part of that experience. That was awesome. And we got them fitted for shoes at Running Niche on Saturday. So like seeing the kids and everything was such a positive experience. The first time they'd ever been fitted for running shoes in their entire life, and so that was cool. Yeah. The goof, I would say, there's been several goofs probably. One was,
no big bike crashes. I hope.
Yeah. The bike ride, I think I told you guys about earlier about, not preparing, bringing water. That was really stupid. I have a huge Oreo addiction, and so I nail Oreos. And so I have this whole thing where like, if we have a box in the house, I start eating it. I might as well just eat the whole box. And so it's gone from the house.
That's the way I think too with this popcorn. I'm like, so I have a whirly pop where you can like make like movie theater quality popcorn at your house.
Yeah.
And I keep buying bags of kernels, and I'm like, well, I got to eat them all, so they're out of the house. So I stop eating them.
You get rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
But he buys the container from Costco.
No, I don't. It's like a pound bag at a time.
So that'd be my goof. Some stupid stuff like that.
Oreos are addicting too.
They are.
Let's just talk about that for a second. Like you're like, oh, I'm just going to eat 3 or 4, and then you're like done with one sleeve, right?
You're
like, oh well, there's still 4 more sleeves.
Yeah.
And then your son wants some, your kids want some, and then all of a sudden you're not even counting.
Yeah,
I stopped buying Oreos because of that.
I've been on a big Oreo ice cream kick this summer, and that's something I need to stop too, because like all the progress that we've made, and I'm just like,
well, and a lot of it, don't you think a lot of it is just like when you don't have it regularly, it's like not a big deal.
Yeah.
But when you have it all the time, it's like harder to break it.
Yeah. I did Peddler's Jamboree, which is like that bike festival thing in Columbia where you ride the kiddie trail and there's music and stuff. It's super fun, and we had ice cream like both nights. I'm like, God damn. I never was a really big sweets guy, and then like I've just been like on weekends, I'm like, what sounds good?
Ice cream.
It's tough.
Oreo Blizzard.
Yeah.
With popcorn.
Yep. Popcorn's during the day.
And I don't want to be like disrespectful in saying this, because I'm my journey with like health though, like I've put on 30 to 40 pounds in the last few years, because like I was running, like when I was running, I was at 150s, and then I started training consistently, got up to like 170, but like when not running, like got up to about 210 last fall.
Yeah.
And so now I'm down to like 185, 190.
That's awesome.
But like, for me, like that was a lot. Like it was really just a struggle with like just working out, exercise, and things like that, and also just like having bad habits. Like I just like wasn't exercising the same way, so I was just drinking too much and food, and so less even about the weight, but like just like feeling like crap, all the rest of stuff. And so I commend you guys and what you guys are doing, and that's something I've been trying to like I got actively like trying to lose that weight, and get back whatever, and it's felt good. Just feel more like yourself and feel better. I'm sure you guys, experience that too. But definitely have my kryptonite, with those Oreos and everything else.
Yeah, actually, the guy Carrie who we had on last week, he lost. I think Charles is dying.
Yeah, so are you okay?
You're all right, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm fine.
Water?
No, it's not helping.
Yeah.
It's because it doesn't have juice. It's not flavored water. So.
I'm making him drink actual water this month as opposed to like Kool-Aid all day.
I don't know about you with the humidity and everything. Like my allergies, I don't know what it is. Like they just get fucked up from this stuff.
No, but the guy we had last week, Carrie, he's been doing like crazy triathlon stuff, like I said earlier. Yeah. But he lost like 170 something pounds, and then he purposely put back on weight, and I'm like, that is such a crazy concept for me to even consider. And like he was bigger than we ever were, so like it's just maybe we'll be there at one point where I lose too much weight. I doubt it though. But we'll see. But
it's behind you, bub,
and we'll see what is
the will of
so we can do it next week if you want, or we can do it this week.
Let's do it. I'm gonna defer my spin to Mark.
So
yes,
for those that remember, we have the monthly challenges. It's been drinking 100 ounces of water every day, which, to be honest, was a stupid one because there's no way for Charles to track it. I'm just going based off of what he says. And I caught him drinking Kool-Aid a bunch of times.
No, you didn't.
Where?
Once.
Okay, once.
It's not Kool-Aid. It's Crystal Light.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, you got to drink water, dog.
Yeah.
But
and there's water in there right now.
But it was whoever lost more weight this month. I've gained weight this month.
I've lost weight.
Charles has lost weight. So he is going to win. So he gets to spin, but he's defaulting it.
Yeah, because I didn't get down to 300, and that was my goal.
Yeah.
So,
right. Mark is going to spin our challenge wheel.
I can't wait. Let's go.
Treat us nice, Mark.
No, treat us bad.
Okay, so the red one will be just a spin again.
Okay.
And if it's a wild, I choose the wild.
That's fine.
Okay.
You really got to spin it like good.
Go ahead.
And do I use the top or just go anywhere I want?
I would grab one of these guys. It was like the cheapest one on Amazon.
All right, ready?
So, yep.
I need to go again. That was
Wait, what did it land on?
Wait, here we go. It was red.
Okay, so it was a spin again.
Red?
It was a spin again.
Oh, spin again. Okay.
I'll do a real one.
There we go. All right, let's look here.
It's yellow.
It's yellow. Go ahead and pull it off there.
Okay.
Yeah. The what it is.
Wait, what am I doing? Sorry.
Just pull the paper off.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like,
good.
what am I looking at here?
Yeah.
He's
on the
pulling
yellow.
the whole wheel off.
Yeah. On the yellow.
Do you want me to say it?
Yep.
Damn, guys.
This is gonna be awful.
No alcohol for a month.
It's what you need, Bob. Yeah.
I go on a float trip August 1st.
Yeah.
I'm doing it 2 months in a row. There's no way I'm not drinking. There's no way I'm not drinking. No. That's what it is.
You know what? Let's do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put it back
Because he's got a float trip.
Yeah.
That's important.
We said it was going to happen.
I knew it was going to happen.
All right, here we
we put this together in January. I was like, this will be perfect for like February.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
All right, here we go. Just make sure it's all tapped on.
Don't worry about it. We know what that one is. It's going to be worse.
All right, go ahead and pull that one
orange.
off. Yeah, I'm going to put the yellow back on.
We'll put that back on.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Orange. All right.
This is going to be no nicotine. I know it.
No, it's not.
Stay under daily calories.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right. And optional no alcohol. But I'm going to fail it Friday.
You could start this week or you could start this month with modifying the alcohol.
Yeah, there we go.
I really wanted to pick a double down. Like,
well,
we need to add another. We need to add another double down on here.
Here, I'll take that. That's a good one. So we got to stay under our calorie budget every day. So that means, Charles, you actually have to track your food.
You got this.
And I've been tracking them today.
Good.
So
today,
I love it.
Every day.
I know.
All my terribleness the last month or so, I still logged it all. So we just got to stay consistent. But that's a good one. That's a very good one. So what happens if we go over? How many days do we get to go over? Or is it one day you got to do it? I'm just going to keep doing it. Yeah, it's one time you go over, you got to do it again next month.
Okay. Or we have penalties for the person whenever they go over.
And what is that? Charles is all about punishments in this.
50
what?
Up downs.
Burpees?
All right.
Okay. That's fine.
All right. And you got to do them on live video. Well, we don't have live TikTok. Follow, share, like, so we can do live
Got
TikToks.
it.
Oh, we can do live now.
Oh, we can? Oh, okay.
There we go.
We can do live.
Yeah.
All right. You got to do a live TikTok of the burpees if you go over.
Okay.
And we got to be honest about it.
Okay. You who doesn't log anything.
You
ate 2 quarter-pound burgers.
Pizzas.
You put 2 quarter-pound burgers in as McDonald's cheeseburgers.
Well, sure.
That's crazy.
Guess what? I logged my burgers today.
That's good. Oh, did you go to? Where'd you go?
Oh, I made burgers.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, no bread today. So
all right. So we got our next month challenge.
Go ahead and show.
Do you like salmon?
I do.
Yeah.
But I don't like farm raised salmon.
Yeah.
So we do sockeye, but every time I buy salmon, my wife will use it to make this sushi bake.
Oh, okay.
Which is
That's so good.
it's
so
good. Yeah, it's really
stupid.
good.
And I will go over my daily calorie budget
Just to do it.
on sushi. Just on sushi bake.
Yeah, I generally have not been a salmon person, but my wife has really made me come around on it.
I've been growing a lot of salmon lately, and I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
Now, I never did. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I started losing weight, I was eating ribeyes every night. Because I was like, oh, this protein is great.
Yeah.
When I could eat like 2,700 calories and still lose weight. And now I can't do that. It makes me gain weight when I do that now. So, no, that's a good one. But anyways, the last question I had for you, Mark, is I know that you added the Dogwood Run this year. Is there any future plans for expanding races in the future? You don't got to give any details you don't want to or anything, but is there plans?
I would love to have another event.
Yeah. You don't have anything like in the works or anything?
Nothing right now, but there's definitely always something on the horizon. And I think that, it just has to be the right fit.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Everything for me has to be about being passionate about it.
I got something for you.
Yeah, what is it?
So we did the Moonlight Ramble.
Oh,
they didn't have this year.
They do.
They have it.
It's the day before Mark.
It's the day before Mark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I'm going to be at Shane Gillis because I was going to do it, but birthday gift.
What about like a nighttime fun run?
It's appealing to me,
Everybody can wear like glow sticks around and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool that they do that. I think it's just tough, from a logistics standpoint.
Or a naked mile. How
yeah,
about that?
yeah. My college team got busted. It was on ESPN actually for getting caught doing. We would do like our hazing was. Do you ever see Blue Mountain State? They did the.
I love Blue Mountain State.
So we did the Oreo challenge. You had to run with Oreo between your butt cheeks, and you do it naked, basically. Like it was like one of the first nights on campus, and then years later they got caught, and I just never they called it naked running, and I was like, it's more than naked running. Like, there was other stuff to it, and then they throw a huge bonfire for everybody and get a drink and have fun. So. But yeah, I would love to do another event at some point. It just has to be the right fit. I've put events on in the past that I've thought about bringing back too.
Gotcha.
So some different stuff. So yeah, stay tuned, stay on the horizon.
Gotcha. Awesome.
But as I say this, I'm also like, I'm always like, regretting doing the other stuff too at times. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? It's
for sure.
It's inevitable. But we're all like this. We just want to go to the next, next thing, next mile, keep growing, keep building. So it's a blessing and curse.
Exactly. Well, Mark, we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Everybody,
this is awesome.
Join our Market Mile team, or don't, but join and do the Market Mile with us. We want to see you there Sunday. I'm going to let Charles go die upstairs.
Sorry, Charles.
But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening.
It's his basement.
Give Mark's podcast a follow. Give Mark a follow on Instagram.
Absolutely.
We'll link to all that below. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course,
awesome.
man.
This is so fun. This is so cool to be a part of this.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See you guys.